bunch of hornets dance, snapback caps, pep rallies, ready, spirits never lack, thoughts and pride but style in the swag sack. In the quad, we ain't never gonna stop. In the quad, we always on top. In the quad, feel the music drop. In the quad, groups run deep.
What's going on, HBCU family? It is Friday, November 8th, and you are locked into apparently the only side of HBCU media that's not in drama right now. Listen, y'all. I got the text, I got the calls, everything popped up at one time. All I know is I answered the FaceTime. I'm not going to say from who. I answered the FaceTime while my intro's playing. I heard Scotty's voice and I heard Nick, and I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. Oh my gosh. Look, let me say it real quick, y'all. I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I'm out of it. Whatever happens from here is between grown folks. I am out of it. My concern was my name being mentioned. My God, we are in shambles. And as I'm about to retweet my shit on Twitter, and I'm being shady about it. So y'all don't get mad at me. But goodness gracious. Tune into the only show not in shambles right now. This is what happens when you go live. I should have just pre-recorded this mess and gone about my business. Oh my gosh. Okay. Give me just 1 second, y'all. All right. Welcome to In the Quad with Nick Eden. It is Friday, November 8th. I am your gracious host, Nick Eden. Listen, y'all. Let me explain something to y'all. I want you to know how tired I am. So I left Pittsburgh yesterday around noon. Now, generally, I fly everywhere, right? Shout out to Delta Airlines. I don't know what status I'm at now, but I just hit another status. But shout out to Delta, shout out to American Airlines. But I drove from Pittsburgh to Gulfport, Mississippi. I started at 12 yesterday. I stopped, took a little break, went to sleep at a rest stop, and I got back today. Literally, I am here now. I'm back in my house, not in my studio because my studio's still not finished. But oh my goodness, listen. Let me explain something to y'all. It's going crazy right now. I'm not gonna speak on it anymore. I will just say this. Y'all, all my folks, I need y'all to get it together. But it's so much stuff that's going on right now on HBCU Twitter. And that's one of the great things about In the Quad with Nick Eden on HBCU Plus. So we're covering everything that's going on in the landscape of HBCU, including apparently me now, across the entire HBCU landscape. So that's TikTok, Fizz, Snapchat, Twitter, IG, Facebook, all of it. We comprise it into 4 main topics. That's the first part of the show. The second part of the show is what we call our fam topics. And I can see y'all, my phone is pinging right now from the fam topics that are coming in. And if you would like to get your question or your comment on fam topics, all you have to do is head over to my socials, at Nick Eden on Twitter, at Nick Eden on Instagram. Click the link tree in the bio. And if it's appropriate, I mean, at this point, we know it's not appropriate. Y'all just go ahead and say what you're going to say. It is what it is. Type it in. We'll talk about it. My goodness. But let's get to our first main topic. And unfortunately, it's a sad one. Our first main topic comes to us from Tennessee, and that is Knoxville College. Now, for those who do not know about Knoxville College, it is an HBCU that is in the process of trying to get its accreditation back. So according to Yahoo News, building at struggling HBCU Knoxville College destroyed in fire. A long-shuttered administration building at struggling Knoxville College, a historically Black institution, was destroyed in a fire Monday night, officials said. There were no official injuries in the blaze, which erupted around 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the campus of Knoxville, Tennessee. Which has buildings boarded up to prevent break-ins and fires. Listen, y'all. The building, the building is over 100 years old. I'm really I'm sad about this because I've talked with the people at Knoxville. They are really trying to get their accreditation back. They're not trying to go through Sachs. They're taking the Morris Brown route, the same that President Ray is doing at Barber Scotia College. And so they actually brought in Dr. Kevin James at Morris Brown to kind of consult with them on how to get everything back going. So they're really in the process of getting things going, raising the money to get back into it. And so this is one of those things that's just a big blow. And this is why I said, like, if y'all notice, at no point in the last week and a half have I asked y'all to donate to the show. I appreciate everyone who has. I really do. I appreciate everyone who has donated to the show. However, right now, I think that money would be better diverted to go to somewhere like a Knoxville college. We talked about St. Aug and Shaw University and how that money needed to go to them. I'm telling you now, if you were going to donate any money to End the Quad via PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please take that money, $1, $5, $10, $20, and donate it to Knoxville College. They desperately need it. This is one of those times where we have to come together for the 107 and just do what we can. So it sucks. It's terrible. Y'all, this thing's about to be in shambles. I'm trying to conduct a show here, and y'all know I'm live. I get it. I know that right now Scotty is talking about this whole situation, and I know that I was brought up in it. I get it. I will watch that show afterwards. If there's anything that I need to address on Monday's show, I will. I don't think I will. If I know Scotty, he's probably talking about how, my whole thing came together, which I told y'all that before is true. But seriously, y'all, right now, I want us to concentrate on what's going on with these guys. It's a lot of stuff that's cause for concern, and it's a lot of stuff that is cause for celebration. And that celebration is actually our second main topic. And our second main topic, man, shout out to Dell State, man. Shout out to Dell State. They have been on the forefront of being really intuitive and inventive on everything. And I know they get a lot of crap just because of their football program, but I'm telling you what Dell State has going on right now is great. And that is they are the first HBCU to add Division I's women's wrestling. Delaware State announced Thursday that it will become the first historically Black college to offer Division I's women's wrestling. Jaheed Jones, the executive director of the HBCU Wrestling Initiative, said his organization has contributed $1.25 million to help launch the program. The decision is timed for two reasons. The plan is to start competing during the 25-26 school year, which coincides with the first season's women's wrestling, to make a move from an emerging sport to an NCAA championship sport. Add the fact that girls wrestling is America's fastest growing high school sport, and Jones is ecstatic. I don't think the timing could be any better than what it is right now, having a full year to be able to get the coach in place and recruiting girls, being able to go and running. The timing is perfect. Listen, big shout out to Dell State on this. So a lot of y'all know that, who've known me for a while, you know that I help a lot of kids get into college, not just in my area, across the country. I do it for free because for a lot of them, they are first generation college students. Their parents don't know this process and they're interested in HBCUs. So I utilize platforms like Common Black College app. The Common app itself deal directly with the schools. And the one thing that the article points out, and if you want, you can go to ESPN.com to read it. The one thing that it points out is that women's wrestling is the fastest growing sport at the high school level right now. It is crazy how fast it is growing in its space. And so for me, having met quite a few ladies who were interested, excuse me, I was about to sneeze. Even met a few ladies who were interested in going to HBCUs, but they wanted to wrestle on the collegiate level. It was just like there's nothing that I can't do anything for that right now. And it was similar to a couple of years ago with gymnastics, right? So shout out to Fisk and Talladega. So now having this, I think you're going to get two things. The first thing you're going to get is you are going to get an influx of dual athletes because there are a lot of women who play um, they play flag football, but they also wrestle, or they play volleyball and wrestle, or they play basketball and they wrestle, right? So you get a chance to get some dual athletes into our HBCU space. But then in addition to that, there are also implications for the Olympics down the line, right? So I could not be happier. I think whatever Dell State, I don't know who Dell State's AD is. But whoever Dell State's AD is, shout out to you. Shout out to you because my goodness, the new facilities, building a huge indoor facility, now launching this. I think if I'm not mistaken, they're in the process of launching uh, a flag football team as well, if I'm not mistaken. But Dell State's got a lot of great stuff going on. There's a lot of clutter because of how small the MEAC is right now, that they don't really get to stand above the fray. They don't get the pomp and circumstance that Central or Howard or SC State does, or even Morgan State does. But I do think that they're excelling in so many other areas. I think eventually they'll catch up to football, and people actually see how dope a program that actually is. All right, so we're gonna take our first commercial break and let everybody kind of calm down in these streets. It's in the quiet with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, "You're gonna love this." He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, "These cars are going fast," I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue, with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day.
See you next week.
I might be drinking by the time we get to the film. Oh my gosh. Oh, right. Live reporting. I just caught a glimpse of this. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm gonna have to pivot in real time. and I don't want to. 'Cause I feel like I'm gonna have to pivot in real time. Scotty, why would you do a show the same time as my? You know what time I'm on Monday through Friday. Oh my goodness. Uh okay. Y'all, welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. This is the non-crashing out edition, the show where we talk about all the hottest trending topics, apparently except for one, across the entire HBCU landscape. We are right in the middle of our main topics, and on a positive, my goodness, we got an all-star game, y'all. We got an all-star game coming up. I think this is gonna be great. I'm calling it now. Live, where you at? Live, hit my line. We got to make sure you are here in 2025. You are going to San Antonio. Do you hear me? We're gonna make that happen. So according to HBCU legends, shout out to Kyle Mosley, my Urban Edge host counterpart. Y'all make sure y'all check out Black Sports Insiders. I got a great panel there, great crew. But this is on HBCU Legends on Sports Illustrated. HBCU All-Star Game announces first ever women's basketball event. For the first time since the launch of the HBCU All-Star Basketball Game, a women's All-Star Game will be included for fans to enjoy. Founder Travis Williams disclosed to HBCU Legends years ago that he envisioned a women's All-Star Game would one day happen, and now it's a reality. This game is about honoring the rich heritage and promoting the success of these remarkable athletes, Williams said at Thursday's press conference. This is the epic moment of the show to show the world that HBCUs matter. We get an opportunity to celebrate the best in Black college basketball during this Final Four weekend. 24 women and 24 men will participate in the HBCU All-Star Games, totaling 48 student athletes. The 2025 All-Star Games will tip off at Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas on Sunday, April 6th. So now I know that everybody's like, well, Nick, you said it's just a women's all-star thing. No, it's actually both. But the thing is, the prominence in this is going to be the fact. Like, I'm not being funny when I say this. This is no disrespect to the guys at all. I love HBCU hoops. I really do. I do. Now I'm a baseball guy before basketball and football, but I do love HBCU hoops. But what we cannot deny is within the realm of HBCU sports, when you look at programs like Jackson State, when you look at programs like Norfolk State, when you look at what's projected to happen for Alabama A&M this year, when you look at coaches like Coach Don Thornton, when you look, where previously she's not in the HBCU space anymore, Tamika Reed. The reality is, when it comes to HBCU basketball, the ladies are absolutely killing it. I mean, absolutely killing it. As a matter of fact, didn't Norfolk just get last night? I think they got a Power 5 win, if I'm not mistaken. And it does not get the pomp and circumstance it deserves. I'm going to be using that term a lot today because it's just on my mind, but it doesn't get what it deserves. So now you've got this opportunity coming up in April where these stellar athletes are going to be showcased in a way. And that's why the first thing I said when I saw it was like, man, whatever it takes to get Liv out there is going to be, that's got to happen, because Liv is legitimately a star in this space, right? And Liv is someone who knows this game at every level and loves it, and is going to go out there. And I'm pretty sure the coverages are going to be sick. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really ecstatic at the fact that this does. And gosh, could it be in Houston? Like I'd rather, if I'm gonna go out there, I want to go out there. I'd rather go by Texas Southern or something. I guess I'll be in San Antonio. I want to make my way out there. I've said for the longest that I do want to go start covering more stuff. But I know if nobody else needs to be out there, Live for Hoops need to be out there. So whatever it takes, whatever needs to happen for that to happen, let's do it. But all in all, I do think that it is an amazing opportunity. I do think that the right person put this together. And as you see more of these kind of HBCU hoops tournaments, you start to see the coverage starts to pick up on it a lot. And I think where everybody kind of screws up is they don't take into account that way more than football, basketball, baseball to an extent, but basketball in particular, HBCU basketball put its foot in Power Five asses a lot of the time. So you get to see some really competitive games. You get strong schedules across HBCU basketball, and really for the women. To me, I'll be honest with you, watching the women's basketball is more entertaining for me than watching the men's basketball. That's HBCU. That's NCAA Final Four. It's just, and coming off of such a stellar year for the WNBA, I think we continue this momentum. Now, WNBA, you're going to have to start looking at more women from HBCUs. They got the talent to compete. That's something we can address. Since everybody talks about inequities, let's talk about the inequities of the draft when it comes to the WNBA and HBCU women's hoops. But I digress. Listen, and our last main topic. Now, I do want to know what y'all think about that. So hit me up on Twitter at Nick Eden. Hit me up on Instagram at Nick Eden. Let me know your thoughts. And our final main thought. Main thought. Wow. Y'all, I'm disheveled. I'm trying to hold it together. It's a lot going on. My phone does not stop blowing up. Will he break away from the show? And no, I won't. ESPN's First Take is headed to a historic campus for its final stop. Now, this is coming to us from our good friends over at HBCU Game Day. Shout out to Tolly, shout out to Simone, shout out to Steven, friend of the show. First Take, ESPN's signature morning debate show featuring renowned commentator and executive producer Stephen A. Smith by host Molly Querim, and host Molly Querim wraps up his fall HBCU tour with a live broadcast from Morehouse College on Friday, November 8th. Shannon Sharp, it's going on right now. Shannon Sharp and Cam Newton will be joining the live broadcast. This event marks the final installment of a 3-show series highlighting HBCUs. November 8th, Clark Atlanta and Morehouse College. Historic Morehouse College, Spelman College, and Clark Atlanta make up one of the world's oldest and largest associations of HBCUs. You should definitely throw in ITC with that, and Morris Brown. On this weekend, rivals Morehouse College and Clark Atlanta will face each other at the B.T. Harvey Stadium in Atlanta. Look, let me say this, and I mean this. In any other event, I would absolutely say that this is going to be, based on the past, a competitive game between two programs who are struggling for relevancy. And I say this as someone who used to go to this game all the time. But with David Wright at QB and Coach Teddy Keaton, the Blark Atlanta Pyro Panthers are going to decimate Morehouse. Now, Morehouse, y'all got it. In basketball, hey, look at that. But on that gridiron, they might as well play on Clark Atlanta's field to hide the blood. Because Clark Atlanta is going to put a hurting on Morehouse. So, but I am excited to see that this is going to be the wrap for First Take in their HBCU coverage. I want to see them expand it more. And I was actually sitting there talking to a friend of mine the other day. I was like, what you're looking at right now, what you're seeing right now, you are seeing a lot of HBCU alums getting put into position. And I don't think that that's by mistake. When you look at First Take, you got Shannon, you got Stephen A. Smith. And here's the thing. I don't care what y'all think about them. I don't care what y'all think about them. You got Winston-Salem State and Savannah State right there. And that's significant because you're also talking about two D2 teams on the number one show on ESPN. That's what we're looking at. I was looking at the Breakfast Club the other day. You're talking DJ Envy, Hampton. You're talking Lauren LaRosa, who's filling in for Jess. She's Dell State. You're talking Charlemagne the God, who is an honorary degree from South Carolina State. And then the other day, I forgot who they had up there. Well, I know is I looked up and I was like, my goodness, it's like 5 or 6 HBCU alums all in these rooms and sitting in these places in the highest levels. And you may not like their takes on things, but you gotta appreciate that at that level, they're able to kind of use that influence and really put themselves in position where they can spotlight these schools. So I just wanted to point that out. I just wanted to keep that on top of everybody's mind because it's nothing to shake a stick at. It doesn't have it's not something that historically has happened a lot, and it's something that should be celebrated. So anyway, y'all, we are going to take our second commercial break. When we come back, we are going to go into our fam topics, and I've had a couple that have just come through, so I haven't had a chance to load them up. But depending on what they are, which I'm about to take a look at during this break, we'll see. It's in the quad with Nick Eden, non-shambles edition.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push.
You better
I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, you're gonna love this. He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, these cars are going fast, I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
Amazon Fall Favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon Fall Favorites now.
Welcome back. As of right now, as we are on Shambles Watch, I am not going to break away from the show only because, my goodness, there is so much that's going on. But I did get a chance to take a look at some of those questions that y'all put in Fam Topics just now. Y'all being messy. Y'all being real messy right now. My goodness. But, it has to pass the litmus test, and the litmus test comes in the form of Uncle Samson. And for those who don't know Uncle Samson, all right, y'all, we are at my favorite part of the show. This is our Fam Topics, all right? These are the questions and comments that you, the viewer, have submitted to me to read on In the Quad with Nick Eden. Now, if you want to get your questions and comments on Fam Topics, it's pretty simple. What you need to do is you need to head over to my socials at Nick Eden on Twitter, at Nick Eden on IG, click the link tree in the bio, and leave your questions and comments. And because it's Friday, Screw it. It's a free-for-all. Hey, let's get it. Okay. All right. And our first fam topic. Game of the week. And thank you for a very nice, sensible question. So look, I know my game of the week. My game of the week is Bama State versus Grambling. I know that's not going to be the same. We're trying to concentrate on winning out. So for me, I'm trying to see what Bama State's going to do for the rest of the season. We got to go to the hole, and Grambling is not easy to beat there. So yeah, that's my game of the week. But I think the game of the week is probably going to be Howard versus South Carolina State. And the reason that I say that is because with South Carolina State beating Central last week, and you got to consider Howard, they're the defending MEAC champions. If SC State can pull off this game, then that's it. They're your new MEAC champions, pretty much. If Howard can pull off this game, that gives Howard a chance, even with the loss to Norfolk, but it also puts Central back in the running, depending on how the outcome of that game. We always talk about the SWAC West being in shambles, but my goodness, the MEAC is always chaotic this time of year. And before anybody just discounts Howard like that, let's not forget that it was around this time last year when Howard put up a 50-piece on Central and booked their ticket to the Celebration Bowl. So I think that this game is going to determine a lot of stuff that's going on in the MEAC. And, it really can go either way. So to me, that is the game of the week. All right, what we got next? If the SWAC came down to 8 teams, do you think it'd give us room to have more out-of-conference games and a better strength of schedule? Yes, I do. I don't want it to happen. I don't want any of the SWAC teams to leave. I also don't want to add any SWAC teams, to be honest. I want the SWAC to stay as it is and for the programs to build themselves up. But I also do recognize that one of the things that the MEAC is really, really good at that gives them an advantage, especially when it comes to things like the Celebration Bowl, they do play a tougher schedule. They play a lot more out-of-conference games. And it's something that I wish that we would do, and not just money games. You know what I mean? Like, but now here's a part. Here's a part. That's also on the AD. I've been on record as being very critical of Bama State. It's like we either get like one, we got the Turkey Day Classic that's against Tuskegee, who for the time being is a D2 school. So that's one that's, kind of out the window. Then we played in traditionally Labor Day Classic, and we had been playing Miles. I realized we had to get back on Miles this year. I honestly do not want to play Miles again. I just don't. I really don't want to play Miles again. And quite frankly, I don't want to play. I don't want to play Sanford. I would rather see us play some more teams like a Troy or even a South Alabama or hell, even a USM, Kennesaw State, somebody other than, okay, we play a couple D2 games, we play a money game every other year, and then we play the SWAC, right? So I think it is on the ADs in a lot of instances. I know there are partnerships and things that have been set up for years now, but I think we can have a stronger schedule if an out-of-conference game for the SWAC was not against a SWAC opponent. Like Bama State playing Southern, that's considered technically an out-of-conference game. It doesn't count towards a conference. It's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me. But it's also ridiculous to me for everybody to keep playing lane. So I think that we have got to get a stronger schedule overall. And I do think that if the SWAC came down to 8 teams, it would give us room, for more out-of-conference game. And I think it will make us better from a football standpoint. Now, But then the question is, who goes? So you're saying you kick out the ones at the bottom of each conference? So what we're talking UAPB as it stands right now, that would be Grambling. We're not gonna kick Grambling out the SWAC. Like, who would you kick out? You kick out Valley, UAPB, Bethune? I think that's not good business sense. Taking Bethune out, that severely interrupts the Florida Classic. You kind of leave Valley in the dust because they're right in the middle of Mississippi. UAPB, I don't know. I mean, like UAPB, it seems like UAPB is always on the precipice. UAPB is great for a trap game. And you're also talking about removing them from other sports where they thrive. Because if you kick Bethune out, now you're taking out a major piece of SWAC baseball. A major, major piece of SWAC baseball you are taking out. That doesn't make any sense to me. My goodness. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I would love to see more, rather than taking it down to 8 teams. What I'd really like to see is, I would like to see the ADs say, listen, we need to sit down. We need to look at all these agreements that we've got for all these games. What's going to make sense to give our football teams a better chance of having a stronger schedule? Because the stronger they are in those out-of-conference games, the stronger they'll be in SWAC play. One simply has to look at Jackson State and FAMU. That's a prime example, right? And see what that does and what being competitive against those teams can actually do for your in conference schedule. So yeah, I think the idea will work, but I don't love it. What are you talking about? Why do you think the MEAC doesn't get as much coverage as the SWAC? Are y'all not watching what's going on now? SWAC is always in some damn shambles. That's why. We are drama filled. We are like we are drama filled. Like, there's literally a show going on right now that's got everybody in a tizzy, and I can only imagine what's gonna happen next. And I'm gonna say this: not get mad when Timona claps back. Don't get mad when Timona claps back, because she claps back hard, and y'all know this. Y'all know this, but I just wish it. So yes, this is why the SWAC gets the most coverage, because we got the most drama. We are most dialed in. That's on a gossip level, right? And I'm just as messy. You know, the calendar exists because of stuff like this. The reason, though, in all fairness, in all seriousness, the reason that the SWAC gets more coverage is because a lot of the shows are either SWAC alums or they're based around SWAC schools. So obviously, and as everybody kind of works with each other and hops on each other's show, it's just going to build up, and they're going to talk more about SWAC. I said that word or that term earlier, pomp and circumstance. I would equate it to probably like the mid 2010s for any wrestling fans out there, where you had WWE, you had Ring of Honor, and you had Impact Wrestling, right? So the thing about it was WWE didn't have the bell-to-bell action that Impact Wrestling had. They had a better roster, more fundamentals, more just straight-up wrestling. Same thing with Ring of Honor. But WWE was the show. And that's how people knew. They knew. You think of pro wrestling, you think of WrestleMania, you think of Royal Rumble, you think of SummerSlam, you think of Survivor Series. You think of the show, you think of the pyro, the fireworks, all that stuff. That's how I would kind of compare the two. The SWAC is definitely the show. The pomp and circumstances there, right? The flat is flashier. You know, it just is. There's no way around it. Whereas MEAC is more hard-nosed athletics. On the academic side, you've got a conference. You got Howard. Like, there's just, you've got NCCU's law school. You got A&T, which formerly of the MEAC, but at the time was in a conference. It was, talking about the biggest HBCU in the country. But so when you look around now, who's doing a show on Central? Which, by the way, I think there should be a show solely dedicated to Central, right? But if you don't hear it on Scotty's show, And you don't really hear it really is Josh. And I will give HBCU Nightly credit because they consistently talk about the MEAC more than any other platform. More than any other platform, in depth. But they are comprised primarily of MEAC alums. You've got Josh, who went to Central, Tandia, Central, Erica, Howard. And then you do switch over. You got Dave, who's in who's A&T, but they're now in the CAA. You got Banks, Morgan State. Doc would pop up every now and then. That's Jackson State, Herb, Jackson State, BJ, Southern. But primarily it was MEAC. So, and it is more centered around the technical aspects of football. But then when you come to the SWAC, you got Doc Holliday, you got She Loves D, you got KC 1400 Media. That's Jackson State. You got the wild card in the Black and Gold show for Bama State. You've got ONG Strike Zone for FAMU. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 other ones for FAMU. It's hard to keep up because it's a lot of shows. You got From the Hill for A&M. So there's more. And again, I'd like to see more MEAC coverage. But I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to be straight up with you right now. And I constantly see the numbers because I can't be biased on it. Anytime that the calendar is heavily focused on the MEAC, slow numbers. Even though that stuff is trending, the retweet and rewatchability and going back and recapping everything is not the same as when it is with the SWAC. If something happens with FAMU on a Tuesday, on Sunday when I drop the calendar, they're still going to be talking about it, retweeting. Same thing with Jackson State, same thing with Bama State, same thing with PV, the same thing with Southern, Grambling, the whole 9. They're going to go back because they're like, man, I got to go back and talk about that again. Or I was waiting. MEAC is a total difference. It's a total difference. If I just ignored the actual trending topics that were coming out of the MEAC and just put SWAC stuff on there, my numbers wouldn't take a hit at all. So, MEAC alums, I mean, y'all want more coverage? Y'all gotta, it's a bit boring. I'm gonna catch you for that one. All right. And our last posted, appreciate your transparency yesterday. I'm trying to get in media, and it seems pretty hard. Listen, I get it. It's not easy. That's true. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. I love this space. I ain't gonna hold you. The drama that comes with it, I know it sounds like a lot. I know it's a lot to deal with. I love the space of media. Let me be clear. I love the space of Black media. And whether I was my time as a writer for SoulTrain.com, whether it was my time in selling radio for Hot 105, whether it was selling Black stations for Comcast Spotlight, my own show, my podcast, the Middleman Talk Show, Morning Cup of Merch, 4554 podcast, the Zoommates podcast, In the Quad with Nick Eden. I have loved this space of media because for so long, our narrative and our stories have been taken away from us. And so to be in a position where we can tell our own stories, because the story is going to be told. The story is going to be told. So in a space where we can tell our own stories and we can drive our own narratives and we can tell our truth, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Absolutely would not. So however it is that you're looking to get in media, these are the type of fam topics that I wish were not anonymous. Please reach out. Please reach out. And, I'd love to talk to you about it. So listen, I got 3 of these joints and I'm going to read them. I'm going to take a commercial break. I'm going to read them. Y'all are on one. It's in the Quad with Nick Eden.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. It's these pro-level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
I got 3 of these. Welcome back, by the way. I got 3 of these that I'm going to address. Sent in real time. And this is about as much, and let me go ahead and say, because y'all, some guns sent in 10 questions and comments while this show was going on. I'm not going to address what's being said on Scotty's show right now. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. I'm not going to do that. I already said that I felt like Scotty shouldn't have mentioned her name. I felt like she shouldn't have had everybody catch strays around her. T is a grown woman. She gonna respond. Y'all know that. She gonna respond. Just know all this going on the calendar. You hear me? So now there are 3 out of the 10 that I'm going to address because I think that they are pertinent to my level of involvement in the last couple of days. The first, how can you say that Scotty is your dude and that Doc is your dude at the same time? That's a fair question. Doc Holliday is a grown man. Doc and Scotty have a history before I knew either one of them. Either one. Which means I have no worry that whatever Doc and Scotty got, they can squash it. Ain't nobody asked me to pick no sides in this. And I got mad love for the both of them. But they are grown men and they can settle their things on their own. Here's next. After your show yesterday and Timona's show last night, do you expect that anybody would still want to do business with HBCU Plus? This might be one of the most asinine questions I think I've ever gotten. let me say this. First, Urban Edge Network just signed a deal to carry all the championship games for the NAIA. HBCU Plus has the NBA G League. HBCU Plus has HBCU Athletic Conference. HBCU Plus has In the Quad, Off Script, Black Sports Insider, and a couple more shows, might I add, that are on the way. Even in all the melee of this, last night T still posted when she got paid and that she got paid. And again, and look, it is what it is. Like, we in this now. Again, I ain't missed a check yet. Not one single one. So, yes, there are plenty of people lining up that want to do business with HBCU Plus. And if they don't, then you're going to get In the Quad with Nick Eden, On the Yard with Nick Eden, At the Calf with Nick Eden, At the Tailgate with Nick Eden, Homecoming with Nick Eden. I will do every single hour worth of content on this network. You hear me? Y'all are going to get sick of seeing my face because I believe in what we're building here. So, yes, people are still going to look. This just makes month 2 for me. I ain't going nowhere. And I know it's a whole bunch of folks here that ain't going nowhere. And God bless anybody that has moved on. That's just business. That's just business. So yeah, I know plenty of people gonna do it. Because I also know this, as someone who's built several YouTube channels, folk will go I've seen people who've been on YouTube 5 and 6 years and they're still not monetized, and they will still pump out content every day, every other day, every week, in the hope that one day they'll get monetized, and then hopefully one day they'll get enough views to where they start getting a check. So if you can do that for them, you can do that over here where there are advertisers and sponsors and people who are willing to pay for the content that we produce. So. And the last one, only because I think this is funny. Only because I think it's funny. So does this mean that you and Timona have broken up? All right. If y'all don't know, again, I showed this last week. It was a joke about the whole Twitter boo thing. Timona and I have not broken up because Timona and I are not dating. I've made no mistake about the fact that I think Timona is a very beautiful woman, very attractive woman. There's no question about that. We're not dating. Timona is someone that I've had the absolute pleasure of knowing and knowing outside of this space since we came into HBCU Plus together. And, and even when she left, listen, here's the thing. You just figuring out that Timona left. Y'all are just figuring this part out. I've been now. And one of the things that, she said and that I said, we're still going to support each other. I was just on her show last week. Or, no, it was last week when I absolutely destroyed Jay White. On her show. Y'all just figuring this part out. So, I guess no, from a Twitter boo standpoint, no, we didn't break up. Look, y'all, we're going to take our final commercial break. And when we get back, I will give you my final thoughts. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
Whether you call her Granny, Nana, my dear, she knows a treat makes any meal special. So come to McDonald's and treat yourself to the Grandma McFlurry today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Final thoughts. Can't we all just get along? Listen, in all seriousness, y'all, we're grown. We're grown. We're educated adults. We got a whole lot coming up. We got a whole lot riding on the success of all these shows, regardless of which platform you're on. And unfortunately, right now we are our biggest, worst enemy. So I'm begging you all and pleading with you all, please stop this. Wherever it lands after this week, it's Friday, okay? We should be talking about football, and all of it. It's enough mess in football that we don't have to be going personal. So I'm begging you all, wherever this is by the end of this weekend, let's just leave it there and let's move on. Because at the end of it, it ain't worth it. We're grown, we got families. Our shows I know it don't seem like much on the HBCU Plus YouTube, for those who are watching on the YouTube, or even on the Twitter, right? That stuff we're kind of building up. But on the app, let me just go ahead and say, it's thousands of y'all watching. And it's thousands watching on other platforms. It's thousands watching Timon. It's thousands watching Scotty. It's thousands watching HBCU Nightly. All the other stuff. Let's just keep that in mind, y'all. And remember, the advertisers are watching. So, that being said, I appreciate you all. I want everybody to have an amazing football weekend. And I will see you same time, same place, Monday. Hopefully not in shambles. Take care.